DonInLondon, hello, March 19th, 2009, and my videos all about recovery from either addiction to substance or behaviour. So we can be addicted to either substance or behaviour, or both. In my case, my substance, alcohol, so in recovery a little while now, and my behaviour, I suppose, striving to be perfect, or what you wanted me to be, and these days just making progress and never perfect. So alcoholic in recovery, workaholic in recovery, any oldolic in recovery, one day at a time. And you know, I was thinking about it earlier before I started this video. It's all about get a life, really. Just to get a life back, or was it back? And I look at how I was tormented over the years when I was drinking. I was always trying to do my best, and this I believe everybody does. We try to do our best, but what sort of a life are we leading? And I started to question mine, and I realised for a lot of my life I was just fearful, putting on a brave face and living with ego inside me, which was I suppose fear was my prime motivator. These days I'm hoping on a daily basis that fear is not my prime motivator, but a bit of courage, a bit of faith, a bit of confidence to make life work. And what makes it possible is the fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. And for many people who have ever been to AA, it can be a bit of a shock to the system, because it suggests, one day at a time, we don't have to drink anymore, and we get our lives back. And for me it's a bit poignant, a bit more strong, if you like. I feel like I've got a life at last. I don't know what sort of life I was living or leading or being involved in before, but I don't know that it was actually my life being run in a way which helped me make the best of it. So these days, fellowship, inclusion, being a part of family, community, society, and this fellowship. And I share about the AA fellowship and how it helps me here. I don't speak for it. I can't. I'm not a leader. There are no leaders, but there are trusted servants. So this video has nothing to do with AA, but I talk about AA incessantly because it actually has saved me and made a life possible. So at the beginning of every meeting there is a preamble, and it goes like this. And it's said by somebody in the room, no particular person, somebody just reads it out. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And given my current state of affairs, I've had some pretty hard knocks of late. And those hard knocks would have got me drinking before. So a friend died last Monday, broke up with my girlfriend. I'm going through a regime change with my medications for type 1 diabetes and clinical depression. So the world has been a bit more difficult on a daily basis. It's suggested that we only change one thing at a time, and these days sometimes everything changes in a day. So how do I do it? How do I stop myself from going back to drink, to blot out the pain, or take the edge off, or think that I'll be a finer and better person with a drink inside me? Simply, I know where I'm coming from and where addiction took me. And it took me to the last rites, being put on drips, shredding my insides, doing all sorts of horrible things, homeless, and on the homeless register for years. So what happens? What happens when we get sober? I guess we understand what size we are, just the same size as anybody else, with an opportunity to make the day go. And I went to 2 meetings of AA yesterday, one at lunchtime at Eaton Square, and it was an experience, strength and hope message from somebody just picked from the room on that day. And believe you me, it's a bit scary to go to a meeting and somebody asks you, can you share today? And obviously when you're new you don't want to, and you don't have to. You just say no thanks, not ready. Or you say yes, I'll have a go, but it might come out all rough and ready. but that's the way it is. It's our choice on a daily basis to share some experience, strength and hope. And that's what I do here. And I refer to AA literature like the Daily Reflections. And for today, March 19th, it says, prayer, it works. And here I am, not sure whether I'm an agnostic, an atheist or a God believer, but I do know that I feel okay with God is truth, God is love, and God works through people, and an appeal to good conscience, to use my good conscience in my conduct today. So prayer, it works. It has been well said that almost the only scoffers at prayer are those who never tried it enough. And that comes from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 97. Having grown up in an agnostic household, I felt somewhat foolish when I first tried praying. I knew there was a higher power working in my life. How else was I staying sober? But I certainly wasn't convinced he, she, it wanted to hear my prayers. People who had what I wanted said prayer was an important part of practicing the program, so I persevered. With a commitment to daily prayer, I was amazed to find myself becoming more serene and more comfortable with my place in the world. In other words, life became easier and less of a struggle. I'm still not sure who or what listens to my prayers, but I never stop saying them for the simple reason that they work. And you know, if anybody finds the answer to whether there is a God or not, I suspect what we'll find is God is on nobody's side, and has the ability to listen to whatever it is that is going on. But it's the conscious effort to equalise ourselves, to look for the best of what we can make of the day, and the simple serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Helps me right-size myself and know that I'm not the only player in the world. We're all equal-sized. The world is full of people just doing their stuff. And sometimes people tread on my toes, and sometimes, not with intention these days, I'm a bit more considerate, I hope. I tread on theirs, and sometimes people say, ouch, and how dare you. Yeah, prayer and meditation, to the God of your understanding, not mine. And, prayer and meditation. Meditation is a way of silencing the voices, or the voice in the head which says, drink, or it's not fair, or why is it happening to me? Actually, the voice in the head can say, you've got type 1 diabetes, you've got clinical depression, and you're in recovery. How are you going to make the day work? And it's to know what my feelings are, how I feel, why, what can I do? And I feel average today. Why? Because I'm following the regime which has been outlined to me, not only in recovery with AA, but also in recovery for keeping well with type 1 diabetes, and also the clinical depression, which is a real bugger at the moment. It's not good. So I accept my situation, and in As Bill Sees It, this one, another daily reading, or more if you want it to be, to guard against a slip. Suppose we fall short of our chosen ideals and stumble. Does this mean we are going to get drunk? Some people tell us so, but this is only a half-truth. It depends on us and our motives. If we are sorry for what we have done and have honest desire to let God take us to better things, we believe we will be forgiven and will have learned our lessons. If we are not sorry and our conduct continues to harm others, we are quite sure to drink. These are facts out of our experience. And, whether you believe in God or not, it's the appeal to a higher power, to our own good conscience, and that voice of reason in our head which says, are you sure you should be doing this? And also the emotional feelings of, I can't stand it anymore. How am I going to cope? And I guess the best coping strategy is acceptance. Acceptance of how things are right now. And then how to get our choices back, or live with the choices we have, given the reasoned situation or the unreasonable outcomes which we encounter day by day. Life ain't a bowl of cherries or a box of chocolates, as Forrest Gump said. It's hard enough. So when I actually go back to that serenity prayer, and it is a prayer, an exhortation to good conscience or to God, or whatever it is that you believe in, not what I believe in. God, grant me the serenity, or the good sense, to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom on a daily basis to know the difference. And if we're lucky, we make a day work as best we can.